Hello. So, hello again, and welcome to this week's update. There's a little bit of good news and stuff to tell you in this week's update. My apologies for last week's update. A few things went on, and I just didn't end up getting around to do it. That's my lame excuse. I just ran out of time. Weather played havoc with the garden, so I needed to put a bit of extra time into clearing up that, and the fact that I've now got a bit of a hernia coming, and so that's interfered a little bit, but we're all right. It's an onset of a hernia, so nothing too major. After all the issues, I've got myself a new hernia belt, so I now wear a girdle, and that keeps me nice and slim. Makes me look slimmer than what I am. Anyway, moving on. So I didn't do one last week. So what I did was this week, I looked at the comments from the one before, used the random generator, random.org I think it is we use, or random.com. Anyway, we used that. And I just pulled two people out and thought, well, okay, what we'll do is we'll still give two out, one for last week, one for this week. So the two people that I picked were Dave Allen, there's a little silver something on its way to you, and Changefinders. I don't know who you are, obviously, and but you've won as well, so we can't send it to you unless I've got your address. If you haven't joined our site already, www.thegreatbritishcoinhunt.com, go and join it and buy something for £1 just to set up your account, and then we can go from there. And there'll be a little silver something on its way to you. So well done, the pair. So there's an interesting thing that's come up about the Cook 18 and 19 and 20 even, that isn't out yet, which is the hole in the packet. Some people have got very annoyed over this, because at the end of the day you're buying a packaged coin that comes with two spare holes that you're supposed to fill, only you can't fill them because they're not released in the general circulation, and the only way that you can fill those two holes is to take two other packets, rip them to bits, take the coins out in order to put all three coins in one packet, which kind of defeats the object, doesn't it? And even then, even if you add the coins, you can't open it to put the coins in properly. You can't put them in an encapsulated bit of plastic, for example, like the one that's already in there. You can only slot it in. You can't open it and put it in because they've glued it shut. So there's quite a few people that are very angry about this, you know, and I can see that from a customer's point of view, because I think it's a bit of a cheek, to be honest. I mean, as it is, you're already getting the customer to pay like £6-8 quid for a bit of cardboard and a bit of single-use plastic. That's the difference between the cost of a coin from it's in Royal Mint packaging and the cost of a coin that's, say, in Westminster or a change checker packaging. Is like a coin is a coin is a coin at the end of the day, and with a Royal Mint packaged product you're already paying over the top just for some cardboard and plastic. So I sort of see that as a bit of a cheek, really, to then go, well, you know, we'll also get them to pay for some empty holes which they can't use. We'll make it like this, knowing full well that the general public can't use them, and I just think that's a bit naughty. Anyway, I'm not going to go on and on and on about it. I actually agree with the customers that are complaining about it. I think it's wrong. So you can call it a voluntary recall if you like. If anybody out there isn't happy and literally wants to take their own stand and wants to take their own sort of, I want to make a point and all that, by all means, if you return them to us. If you bought them off us, return them to us. We know whether you've bought them off us or not, because we can look you up, and return them to us and we'll recredit you. Not a problem with that at all. Yes, I'll save them and sell them to someone else. I'm not going to make my own stand in that sense and send them all back to the mint. You know, that's far too complicated and would be counterproductive. But I do think that customers shouldn't be taken liberties with, and you should have the option. So, being as these people that complained about it, and I actually agree with their moaning and complaining about that issue, totally agree with it. I think it's a cheek. So anyway, if like any of those people you'd like a refund and you'd like to knock them back, knock them back. Don't think that we are going to mind. You knock them back, we'll recredit you. Enough said. Okay, that's that one. Paddington's been released today. However, please don't email in. Remember, we won't get it for about 2 weeks because we are way behind the mint, and we are way behind people like Westminster and Change Checker. They get it earlier than we do because we have to get it from overseas. So we're about 2 weeks behind. Sometimes it's a bit earlier, but you know, sometimes a little bit later, but we're around about 2 weeks behind. So no sweat on that. Paddington's on its way. You've also missed my personal investment for the last couple of weeks, and again, I apologise about that. It's trying to keep up with so many things, juggling so many balls, and then I drop one or two. So 200 quid a week I spend of my own money, and I invest that and put it into something that I can put away for my grandchildren, or you know, like I'm always telling people to do, put it away, put it away, put it away. And this started because people were asking me what I put my money into. So last week and this week, what I've put my money into, which I think is about the best buy at the moment, is the Gruffalo and the Peter Rabbit 19. Both again, 2 non-release coins, and both coins that I honestly believe will go over £100 each in 10 years' time. That to me is a realistic figure, and I don't mind if people don't agree with that. That's fine, but that's what I think it'll go up to. So that's what I'm, you know. And every now and again I put my own money into something, and I tell you, well, that's last week and this week, Gruffalo and Peter Rabbit. That is my thing. You can still get them quite cheap in bunts, as well as not just with me, but on eBay as well. You can get the packaged. I think we are about the cheapest for the packaged. I can't guarantee that we're the cheapest for the bunts, but which is the Change Checker packaging order from a set. But have a little look around. Like I always say, you get it off of anybody cheaper than I'm selling it for, snap their hand off. I'm buying it at my prices. I ain't got time to mess about and go on eBay, so I just buy it off us. I've looked for what I think is the cheapest deal, or the best deal, best value deal for an investment point of view, and that's what I put my portion of my wages into. And then try and let you know about it. So that's what mine's going into. Last week and this week was Gruffalo last week and Peter Rabbit 2019 this week. I think the price is a bit difficult to say no to. And not to forget, also, just to remind you that you get, you know, when you pay us by bank account, you're getting about 20% back in points. So it really is worth doing. And all you've got to do is set it up for the first time. So when you click the button to choose by bank account, you'll actually see either on that page or the next page, it'll give you our bank details. And then you take our bank details, you log in online to your bank. This only obviously works if you are okay with logging in online. It doesn't really work if you've got to make a special trip to go into the bank, because then the extra points you're getting ain't worth the time it's taking you to go to the bank. But if you log in online, it's worth it to you. So, you know, you set us up as a new payee on your online bit. If you don't know how to do that, we can help you. Or what is more advisable is that you call your bank, because we don't mind helping you with it and giving you the instructions and telling you how to do it over email or over the phone. But if you was to tell your bank that you're talking to somebody and they're giving you instructions on how to pay them, your bank probably wouldn't be too happy about that, and they'd tell you to, like, oh, be careful, you don't know who you're talking to. So, you know, if you can't do it with your bank or whatever, but we will always help you if you want to. So set us up as a new payee. Once you've set us up as a new payee and put our account details in, from then on, it's there. So every time you go to pay someone and you log into your bank and pay us, we're already there, because you've set us up once. Once you've set it up once, it stays there, and it won't disappear unless you haven't used it for 6 months or a year, and then it might disappear and you have to do it again. But other than that, it will just stay there. So then the next time you buy something off us and you're going to pay by bank transfer, you just log in and it's all set up and you just click on it and pay us. So nice and easy. Once you've set that up, keep it going, it's worth, with all the points that you're getting and the extra points you're getting from paying us bank transfer, the total is worth like 20%. So no brainer. Here's a little one. So remember we was talking about last couple of weeks, the one of our subscribers, a chap called Coin Hunt. I've had several emails regarding this, and he came forward and said, yeah, I've got a load of Royal Navy coins, £2, and I value them at this, and you know, I've got hundreds and I'll sell them at this. And so I said, okay, come along, put your link on, I'll let my customers buy it. Do you remember that? And I said to you, I'll leave it a week, and then whatever you don't buy, I'll mop the rest up. Well, there's nothing for me to mop up because I don't think he had that many overall. And whatever he did have, you've already bought. So I think within 24 hours of me telling you about that, he was sold out. So that's good for him, you know. Good luck to him, good luck to you, UK Coin Hunt. Glad you managed to make a few quid and get rid of them. I do think they were undervalued and underpriced, and that's great because someone else has been able to, you know, this is one of those things where I can say, like, I think they were undervalued and underpriced, but nobody's got done out of a deal because I'd already said before he sold them, I think they're undervalued, I think they're underpriced. He was quite happy to just go, that's all right, I'm still happy to sell them at this price, I don't care. And then customer comes along and goes, touch, I'll take advantage of that then, I'll have them. You know, that's the way it goes. So when it comes to the value of those coins is obviously far in excess of what he sold them for, otherwise you wouldn't sell out like that. You know, the price at which you sell out is not the value of the product. The value of the product is the value of the product, even though you can get it cheaper. And I've had a little look around, and by the cringe of old Harry, can you pick them up, them and the Britannia, can you pick them up right cheap right now? There's some people doing like £5 free postage. I'd just grab what you can. Anyway, so, where was I? So he sold out, so well done. Whoever went in there, got in there, well done. Okay, that's that one done. Oh yeah, I should have said, no, I didn't buy any. I left them all for you. I stuck by my word. I left them alone completely, and as I'm sure he can verify, and left them all to the customers. So we've also had a lot of people talking about the fakes. You know, we've mentioned the fakes over the last couple of weeks, especially with the brand new puddle duck fakes coming onto the market. Be very careful when you're buying cheap puddle ducks. If the puddle ducks are cheap, then give that a second look. That's all I'm saying. That's not me being accusatory towards any particular sellers out of there. That's just me saying, if the puddle duck is too cheap, have a little look and just make sure. And make sure that it doesn't say anywhere in that listing or the item title or the description or the item specifics that it is a fake, a copy, a souvenir, a space filler, all the things, all the words that would give it away as a fake, right? Make sure it doesn't say any of that. And remember this, when it comes down to disputes, what eBay goes by now, at the top of the list, is the item title and the item specifics. Don't think for a moment that they go by the description. They actually don't care much about the description. Doesn't matter what it says in the description. It's what it says in the title and the item specifics. And that's where you either win or lose a dispute, basically. Now, you know, there's a lot of people I consider don't care. But the Royal Mint don't seem to care very much about the amount of fakes being sold because they're not doing anything about it. And if they were doing something about it, I think we'd know, but they're not. They're not bothered. The likes of eBay and Amazon are not bothered because they're making a commission out of it, so they're quite happy. Let it continue. You know, why rock the boat and all of that? So, with the Mint not being bothered, and with the sales platforms not being bothered, and then you have the other websites that are out there, that Chinese websites and so on, where these fakes are being listed for sale in bulk, and then people buy them in bulk, and then they go and sell them on eBay and Amazon and all the rest of it. What with all of that going on, and nobody really caring and nobody really bothering, it just means that the people over there are making more of them because they're having it off. It's Christmas. They're making more and more and more of them, selling more and more, and the market's getting flooded more and more. So, you know, all one can say is, because of that information, and it's not information that's non-factual, it's all factual information. It's all been proven down the line in various ways that they're not that bothered. Seriously, otherwise they would do something about it. So because of that, just be careful. The only advice you can get is just be careful. You know, remember that a 50p weighs 8 grams, and have a good set of scales. Invest in a good set of scales if you're into coin collecting. 15, 20 quid for a nice set of digital scales that will weigh exactly to the gram, you know what I mean, nicely calibrated scales. You want good quality ones, maybe even more money than that, but whatever you can get, but get good quality ones, shows that they're never going to be out, you know, because you don't want it being 0.3 grams out, because then it's weighing at 7.7. It's no good. So 50p needs to weigh 8 grams. If it weighs 8 grams, then it's 99% certain it is a real one. If it doesn't weigh 8 grams, it goes the other way. It's 99% certain it's a fake. All right, so I hope that. So if don't forget, if you can make a video, if you know how to make a video, if you know how to put clips together and form a video from the videos that we've done, etc., you could win £1,000 worth of points. And to do that, and to find out, you know, what you need to do is just go to the newsletter and look for the on the video list, and look for the one. It does stand out. Look for the one that talks about the winning the £1,000 worth of points to spend, and get on it and get in there. Have a look and see what you think of the video. We've put a link in of the first entry. See what you think of that. So, little note for the agents. You'll notice that we're playing around a little bit. We're now getting up there a little bit, you know, started selling on everybody's accounts now, I believe. I don't think there's an agent that we haven't sold anything on. So we're getting there. It's all about getting the limits up, so that's going to take quite some time, several months. We've got to get the limits up on your accounts. Once we've got the limits up, we can then put some full categories on there and move better in that direction. So it is working nicely. If you're seeing us doing a little bit of work, if you're seeing items get listed, then taken off, then get other stuff put, you know, don't worry about it. That's just us playing around with it for a little bit, settling things down and getting your limits up. Now, this is where we come on to something a little bit more serious, I think. So, as you know, I won't go into it too much, but I believe that there was a little cottage industry out there that when the likes of Change Checker, before they were on eBay, I think they were then obviously just their own website, etc., and you could only buy so many per household and that kind of thing. And so there was this little cottage industry that sort of got set up by accident, and all over the world, where people would then go to them, buy off them 6 or 9 or whatever they could on Westminster or whatever, and then they would have what they wanted for themselves, and then whatever they had surplus they would either put by, let the value go up a bit, or they'd put them on eBay, sell them straight away. So you had this little, it's only a tiddly little tiny cottage industry that you'd almost say is not much of an economy. However, it's an economy. It is a little tiny economy all of its own, and I love little cottage industries. I love ideas. I love ways in which people can just, you know, nick a few quid here and nick a few quid there. I don't mean nick, I mean make. You know, that's my slang from where I come from. But make a few quid here, make a few quid there. Someone who spends 2 hours making a little jewellery box and then attaching coins to it because for a specific year and all of that. I mean, it doesn't matter what people do. You know, even myself, I've sat and thought about things, and when I had a log fire, I needed to figure out how I was going to, I didn't like the price of the logs, so it's like, how am I going to get this for free? You know, I like to try and work out how I want to get that regular, but I don't want to pay that kind of money. And I ended up selling logs as chopping blocks for 25, 30 quid each, and I ended up selling the ash out of the fire for people with tomato plants and cannabis plants, etc., as fertiliser, at 10, 20 pound a kilo. So, you know, I love little cottage industries and how people sort of, they find a way of making something work. Like I found a way of making my log fire work. So anyway, I digress as usual. So the whole point in this is, that's a business that, if you like, which is not slagging them off at all, that's a business, that's a part of the business, if you like, that Change Checker or 288 Group, they don't want that bit. They don't want that business, just like they don't want the business of wholesale. You know, you can't buy off them at wholesale prices, because they're not geared up for that. And they'll tell you that they're not geared up for wholesale, etc. My argument over the mint, etc., slightly different. Anyway, and again, don't want to digress because I'm not having to dig at anybody in any way. The point I'm making is they don't want or are not geared up for that business. And I think, oh, what a shame, because there's a lot of individual people out there that like make a few quid on eBay and Amazon or whatever website they're on, or Facebook or whatever. And I think, well, I don't mind having that business. I don't mind selling wholesale. I don't mind trying to work different ways in order to make something work. You know, it might take a while, might have to come at it a few angles and stuff, but you know, why not try and make it work? So I've come up with an idea. We've had a good think about this, but a little good look at this. And we've come up with a bit of an idea. I'm going to give you a voucher code, and this voucher code is really, really important. It is the most important voucher code I've ever given, and it is the most important voucher code that you will ever need off us, especially if you're into a little bit of buying and selling, and even more especially if you're into not being able to have the money to buy in bulk, because like when we buy them, we buy 1,000 at a time. So if you bought 1,000 at a time, well, you could get them at the same price we do. But some people, they can't. You know, I've been back in the day a trader and part of a little group of people that go off and buy together to use the pool of money together. So this is a way of sort of doing that in a sense, because this will allow you to get certain products at a cheaper price without having to put too much up front. Now, there is going to be a minimum on this. So the voucher code is in capital letters. It's IANS Club, IANS CLUB. Right, go and get a pen. I'll say it again in a minute. Put it on pause. Go and get a pen. Come back. In fact, put this in your phone. Put it in your phone under T for TGBCH, or the Great British Coin Hunt. Make a contact for us under your phone. Put our website in and put this in the notes section. Voucher code, really, really, really important. So, IANS Club. Now, this will give you 30% off. Now, you may say, oh, 30% off, that ain't. Of course, there are items where we can do a lot more than 30% off, depending on what we're wholesaling. If we're wholesaling 1,000 pennies, of course, we can do a lot better than 30%. But you would have to email us separately for that. Until I'm going to go down the road of creating some wholesale listings to factor all of this in. But until I do, if somebody out there wanted, I don't know, you're a cufflink manufacturer and you wanted a load of pennies or 5p's or whatever it is you wanted, of course we'll do a deal with you. Email us separate. Always do a deal in bulk. But this is for the little cottage industry people, and I'm really only aiming the voucher codes, even though the voucher code will give you 30% off everything. And by the way, if something slips in there and you happen to get 30% off something that's like horrifying, it's like, oh no, that's going to cost us money, then don't be surprised if we haven't immediately put the price up because that particular item has been missed or whatever. Do you see what I mean? Because there is a line, and there is a line which we cannot go below. And you see, what I've been thinking about lately is above that there is another line. There's an invisible line. And below that line is wholesale price. Above that line is retail price. And you have that in anything, any product, anywhere. So, and I've come as dangerously close down to that line as I possibly can from a retail point of view. You know that. You've seen us week on, week out, trying to have all these issues and arguments with the mint and so on, and at the same time trying to bring you the product at a reasonable price. So we've got all of that sort of stuff going on, and it's going to take a little while to sort of get where I want to get with it. However, that little cottage industry is still there. Out there amongst you are people that would like to sell a few package coins, would like to, maybe you sell other coins, you just want to be able to add a few package coins to your eBay list or whatever. So now I'm going to make it possible for you to do that. Bearing in mind, remember we give agents 10%. We're paying eBay around 10%. And we're paying PayPal anything up to 5% depending. sometimes more if it's a small transaction. Because PayPal, you might not know this, but like on a 99p transaction, PayPal will charge you about 30%, 27%. It's huge, huge. On a 50 pence transaction, PayPal would charge you 50%. Anyway, smaller the amount of the transaction, the more it costs to transact, and I keep digressing, don't I? So anyway, the point is, there's a lot of you out there that would want to buy them at a wholesale price. And up until now, I haven't been able to sort of meet that wholesale price. But now I think I've found a way in which I can. And it will allow us to compete with some of the other wholesalers out there even. So here's the deal. Here's how it's all going to work. Or this is what we're trying. Trial period. We're trying it. And like I say, if as we're trialing and erroring it, something's massively like overpriced or underpriced, we'll find it. We'll deal with it. Just like, I don't know why, but in a list of 50p's, I found that the 2014 Commonwealth Games, was it 14? I think it is. Commonwealth Games one, the 50p, bloody priced at $14.99. No wonder we ain't selling any. I don't know why that happened. Don't even know how it happened, but it was there. So, you know, things happen. If you notice anything that shouldn't be right, just let us know, and so we can jump on it and fix it. But anyway. So what this will allow you to do is this will allow you to buy your package stuff, really, and that's what this code is for. But even though I can assign specific products to a code, it's just a lot easier to give you this as one voucher across the board, right? So this will give you 30% off whatever price we've got it selling for. So if we're selling a package coin for £10.50, you're going to get it for about 7.5 quid, just under 8 quid, something like that. Did I say 30% off? Or is it 25% off? Now I've confused myself. It's one of those two. I'm going to double check the figures in a minute, which I should have done before I made the bloody video. Naughty Ian. But anyway, it's going to give you one or the other, 25 or 30% off. I just got to double check the figures because I can't remember. So it'll give you one of those off. I know it's an important difference, but it will give you one of those off. That will bring a package coin down, especially a new one. It'll bring it down to just under 8 quid. And I know that there are wholesalers in various parts of the world that sell them at 8.50, 8.70 and so on, and you've got to buy like hundreds at a time. Okay, so what do you have to spend? You have to spend 215 quid, and there's a reason for that. If you spend 215 quid, whatever one it was, which I've bloody well forgotten, 25 or 30, but whichever one it was, it brings it down to £150 and something. And £150 dish is the minimum I want for us to mess about doing a wholesale order. So there is a clear distinction between retail customers and wholesale customers, because any of you can have this, any of you, as long as you are spending the required amount of money. So as long as your cart or basket total is £215 or more, because if it's less than £215, it won't let you use the voucher. It'll just come up and tell you can't use it. So it's got to be £215 or more, and then it will take off the percentage for you and it will bring it down to 150-ish. Right, so your actual physical minimum outlay for wholesale products becomes 150 quidish. So even those people amongst you that are struggling a bit or a lot, you might be able to come up with 150 quid, and you don't have to spend it all on the same thing either. You can have one of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, 2 of them, 6 of them. You can do it any way you want. You just got to spend that amount of money. Now, of course, yes, I know someone's going to go, well, a retail customer could do that. Well, yes, they can. There's nothing to stop them doing that. A retail customer could come along and spend 215 quid on their own products and take advantage of that. Well, then let them do that. You know, they're spending, they're going by, they're observing the rules, and the rules are you spend 215 quid, you get X amount off, brings it down to 150-ish. Right, so I'm not bothered whether a retail customer uses that and bumps up their spend in order to get that discount, that's fine by me, or whether somebody's using that to make a profit, to make it easier to make a profit for them on a package coin that they're going to sell to somebody else. So you could use it against other items. But what you can't do is you can't go and buy one item and get 30% off. That would be wrong. From the purposes of trying to separate retail customers from wholesale customers, because I believe you shouldn't upset your retail customers and you shouldn't upset your wholesale customers, and you need to keep a clear distinction between the two. And this is it, as far as I'm concerned. You know, if you're prepared to spend X amount, then you can be classed as a wholesale customer. Now, with this voucher code, you cannot use your points. So if you've got points already, you can't use them. And I'm sorry if that disappoints a few investors who have got loads of points, but you can't use your points. You can't use 2 voucher codes at the same time. And this is the only way I can do this, by giving a voucher code. However, you will get points with it. So when you buy this wholesale deal, you're still getting your points, and you're still getting your 20% back in points if you pay by bank transfer. So from a wholesale point of view, it really is worth it to you. And I hope it shows that I really, really, really want to support little tinsy, tiny, almost non-existent cottage industries up to middle of the range and bigger cottage industries and small businesses. You know, I mean, if you're a business of my size, well, then you wouldn't want me to supply you. You'd go to my supplier, of course. But there are people out there that can't. So we can help in this way. It will help bring the cost down, and it will help you make some money. And I'm really, really hoping that that works out for you. So you get 20% back in points, remember, if you pay by bank transfer. If you pay by card, you end up getting about 11% back. So it's worth paying by bank transfer, and I've now made it possible for a lot of you people to make some money. You know, even someone like UK Coin Hunt, with the amount of subscribers you've got, you can make some money out of that by buying a load off us and selling it to your customers and making a profit on top of that, you know, and you get your points as well. So there you go. I hope that's of interest. I hope that helps everybody. That's all I've got to talk about this week. I have no idea how much I've rambled on for. I apologise if it's far too long. That's it. I've got no more to say. This is Ian, and the website is www.thegreatbritishcoinhunt.com, and from now on, those of you that want to be, Ian's Club, that's all you've got to put in, and you'll get a discount. I will go and double check what that discount is, base it on 25%. If it's any more than 25%, you've got a bonus. That's the way to look at that. You get 25% off. If it's any more than that, you've got a bonus. Ian's Club, 215 quid or more. Now, leave me your comments this week. What did I ask for your comments about? Leave me your comments on what you think about the Cook £2 coins and about these holes and things. Are you bothered? Are you not bothered? Etc. Quick closing comment. There was a user on the YouTube, Trixie, and quite worried, to put a message and said and she started off at the risk of getting censored or something like that. I'm not going to censor anybody. I'm not going to censor you. You're always polite. I don't see why I should censor. Just because you don't agree with me doesn't mean I'm going to censor you. Not at all. Please leave your comments, even if you don't agree with me. Leave them. I don't delete your comments just because you don't agree with me. Some of them I'll answer, some of them I won't if I don't get time. But I won't delete them if you don't agree with me. This is not a dictatorship. This is a little family. Not a dictatorship. It's a what do you call it? Democracy and all of that. You know, I only get rid of the people that start getting a bit abusive or start doing all this, poking me with a stick. Then I get rid of them. But so please do leave your comments whatever your comments about, and even if you don't agree with something I said, that's fine. By all means, use the platform. Okay. Thanks very much. Oh, lastly, I think Morag is going to be giving a free coin away every day for the rest of this month on Facebook. Get over there, it might be you. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.